here and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a love it or leave it on a brand new product that technically hasn't even launched yet. And this is going to be a review on the new Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Slimlight. Now I was able to get my hands on these early because I happen to be stalking the Sephora website. What's new? And I saw that a couple of the stores near me within like a 20-30 minute radius had them in stores at JCPenney. And so I called and sure enough they were like, oh, let me check, we just got the M in. Like, I was like, okay, before I come out there, please check that I can actually purchase these. And of course they're like, yep, you can, no problem. So I went to two different stores and picked these up. So that's kind of how I got my hands on them early. All I saw, whether, you know, it was 20 minutes away, if it was 50 miles away, was that they were only available at JCPenney's or Sephora's and JCPenney's at the moment. And one of these is a collaboration again with Jaclyn Hill. This is one of the few items releasing on July 14th that continues in the Champagne Pop collection in the collaboration with Becca. So there are 3 shades in these new products and one of them is a collaboration with Jaclyn. So let me tell you a little bit about the product, when you can buy it, how you can buy it, and then I will kind of give you a breakdown of each of the colors and then at the end tell you whether or not I think it's a love it or whether you should just leave it at the store and not even bother with it. So first of all, I'm going to read you some information off the Sephora website. Like I said, these are the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Slimlights. They retail for $28 and they are 0.06 ounces, or let's see, the packaging says 1.68 grams. Here is what the packaging looks like. It's gold and beautiful and fits in with the whole collection. The one that is a collaboration with Jaclyn Hill is for the shade Champagne Pop and it has a picture of her on the back, and then the other 2 boxes are identical except there's no collaboration with Jaclyn on the back of it. So it does come in 3 different shades. You have Pearl, which is similar to the highlighters already in the collection. You have Champagne Pop, which is the collaboration with Jaclyn and the already existing Champagne Pop color, and then you have Topaz. So it says they are targeted wands that highlight and brighten specific areas of the face with a subtle mattified luminosity. And that kind of seems contradictory, luminosity, mattifying, but I will kind of explain what I think they were going for at the end. And so it says Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Slimlight is perfect for a precise highlighting. Each shade catches the light and highlights the features you love. Try applying the luxurious cream in the inner corners of the eye to awaken the eye, down the bridge of the nose to straighten and define the hollow of the chin, and on the cupid's bow to create an illusion of a plumper lip. Then wear it on top of each eyebrow to instantly lift the entire eye area and anywhere you want a swipe of light. It creates a touch of radiance and definition with a subtle and mattified radiant finish. Formulated for all skin tones and types, this easy-to-use targeted highlighter comes in a twist-up crayon applicator that is perfect for any tiny areas you can't easily reach with a big brush. And then as far as how to use it, it kind of gives you a little list of how you can use it. It says, highlight the inner corner of your eye, use as a cream eyeshadow stick, use on the bridge of the nose, highlight over and under the brow bone, use on top of each eyebrow to lift the entire eye area, use above the cupid's bow, and line the lower lash line to brighten the eyes. So first let me go through and share with you guys each of the colors, and then I will kind of tell you which ways work and which ways don't. And I do want to mention, I think I've said this before in videos, like there are no rules technically. There's no hard and fast of like what you can and can't do with makeup. So even though what I'm about to tell you what each of these shades are for, definitely if you're interested in Topaz, even though you have fair skin, get it because it doesn't matter. It's makeup, have fun. So that's why I ended up picking up all 3, because I did think Topaz was beautiful and I wanted to try and make it work for me. So technically Pearl is for people with fair to light skin tones. It looks really pretty. I have the original powder highlighter and I love it. Champagne Pop would be in the middle, kind of neutral area for people of all skin tones, or for people in the middle that have that light and medium. And then Topaz is technically for like the medium, dark, and deep skin tone. So that's kind of what they were going for, a little bit of something for everyone. However, like I said, I picked up all 3 because I was interested in all 3 colors. So I'm going to start off telling you a little bit about Topaz first because I don't have anything from Becca, like a highlighter or anything else that's similar, whereas Champagne Pop and Pearl, I will swatch the original powder highlighters for you guys. So the first shade is Topaz. They have these beautiful, beautiful packaging. All of them have this kind of like rose gold chrome lids, and then you have like the stick, and it's not super lightweight. Like I was expecting it to be like plastic and really, really lightweight. It does have a little bit of heaviness to it. It feels really sturdy and nice. On the end, you do have a sharpener, which is really nice. That way you don't have to use any other products or any other tools. You just kind of twist it, sharpen it, and then you're good. Now, when you first get it, it does start off with a round tip, if you can see that. with the sharpener, you can make it more of a pointed tip to get into areas a little bit easier. But Topaz Is Gorgeous, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, like look how pretty of a color that is. It's such a beautiful like bronzy gold one. Now the only caveat to that is this one actually has chunks of gold glitter in it, and so it looks beautiful, but once you start applying it to the face, doesn't work that great. It actually loses its pigmentation. It no longer looks like this, and you just have gold specks of glitter on your face. Now technically these are for targeted highlighting, but I was like, screw it, I'm gonna try it anyways. I'm gonna try highlighting the cheek to see what happens. And when I do that and I try to blend it out, like I said, it loses all its pigmentation and you're just left with some gold glitter. Now I didn't have as much of a problem when I was doing targeted highlighting, but you may have that problem if you're trying to use it on the brow bone, just because you're going to want to blend it out a little bit, otherwise it's going to be an intense color, and then that's when it loses its pigmentation. So beautiful color, but do keep in mind it does have some chunky gold glitter in it. Not as chunky as like eyeshadows where it will completely fall out, but like I said, you're going to be left with chunks of gold glitter. So I'll tell you the little bit of ways I tried to wear this, because technically for me this is not going to work as a highlight. It's too dark, even with the tan right now, too dark. So the way I had in mind was, like it said, use it as a stick eyeshadow on the eye. You guys, it was horrible. Within 10 minutes it was creasing, and within 10 minutes it was starting to just disappear from the eye. It was just disintegrating. It was just disappearing on my eyelid. So I was like, okay, definitely doesn't work without an eye primer. Let me try some primers. I tried MAC paint pots. Does not apply on top of a MAC paint pot. Tried it on top of my new Essence eye primer that's got a little bit of tackiness, not quite like a MAC paint pot. It applied better, but still creased. I tried it on top of Lorac. I tried it on Too Faced Shadow Insurance. It creased within 10 minutes every single time. And I was like, dang it. Because this on top of the eyelid, when you first apply it, looks gorgeous, and I was hoping it was going to be beautiful, but it wasn't. It creases. It doesn't work that way, and like I said, anywhere else I put it, I did try it everywhere, even though I wouldn't wear it that way. I tried it on top of the Cupid's bow and below the brow bone, and when I blended it out, I was just left with glitter, and when you see it, you're like, why do you just have glitter on your face? That's kind of how it looks. So I'm definitely not impressed with Topaz, and unfortunately anyone that has a skin tone that would match this, I don't think it's going to be that great anyways. I think the other two sticks have better quality than this one. So this one, I did not really like Topaz, unfortunately. Now moving on to Pearl. This is technically the one when I am like my fairest normal skin tone. I love Pearl in the powdered form. It's gorgeous and beautiful. So again, white packaging because it's Pearl, and then here is like the chrome top. So let me go ahead and swatch this one for you next to it. Really pretty. It's just a beautiful white luminous highlight. I love it. So now let me swatch the compact of the powder form next to it, just so that you guys can see it is pretty much the same exact color. So there is the powder, and then there is this one. Now the sticks are, I think, more subtle and definitely not as pigmented and not as strong as the powders. So that's what those two look like compared to each other. And then now let me show you Champagne Pop, because these two are very similar in the actual quality, so then I can kind of just talk about them together. So Champagne Pop, let me go ahead and swatch this for you. Now, look how light Champagne Pop is. Champagne Pop to me looks like a very light beige, a light tan, a true champagne, because Champagne Pop, when I show you the actual highlighter, to me Champagne Pop has always been kind of peachy and golden. It had a little bit of a warmer undertone versus like a neutral undertone like this. So a lot of people that had fair to light skin tones weren't necessarily picking up Champagne Pop because they were afraid it would still be too dark and create more of a shadow versus a highlight. Now, like I said, there's no rules in makeup. I wanted it, I have it, I rock it when I need to because I like it, not necessarily because it's the best perfect highlighter for me. Technically, Pearl looks better and more natural on me, but I still wear this one. But anyways, if you're someone that was always a little afraid that Champagne Pop was too dark for you, you may actually really like Champagne Pop in the Slimlight because it's definitely a much more neutral, lighter, and to me, a true champagne color. So let me swatch it next to the Slimlight, because you will definitely see them next to each other, how Champagne Pop in the powder form is definitely more peachy and warm toned compared to the Slimlight. A big difference. Not really sure why they did that, like why they didn't get the color exactly the same, considering it is the same product, it's just in a different formulation. But just keep that in mind, they are technically different colors, whereas I think Pearl is about the same. Again, the cream products aren't as pigmented and not as strong as the powders. So As far as Champagne Pop and Pearl and the way to use these, I do like to use these underneath the brow bone. I have Champagne Pop on today because I wanted to show you Champagne Pop more than Pearl, since Champagne Pop is a much lighter than the powder form, and it's almost a little too light, almost like it's not as noticeable as you would want it to be. So I do have it underneath the brow bones, I have it down the bridge of my nose, and I have atop the Cupid's bow. I will say the only way that I'm absolutely in love with these products is down the bridge of the nose. It makes it so easy to just draw the line and just kind of pat it out and blend it out with your fingers. Now, there are no chunks of glitter in these two. They are so finely milled shimmer that's in there. They're beautiful. You're not left with tons of glitter or anything like that. Now, I do find that because they are very, very creamy, they don't set very well. For some reason, they set nicely on top of my nose, and I don't know if that's because I'm allowed to kind of blend it out, but if I blend it out right here, it just wipes it away for some reason. So it never really sets. I've had it on for about an hour and a half, and it still has some tackiness to it, and if I took my finger right now, I can completely remove the product. Now, what it talks about being luminous but yet mattified at the same time, I think right now after about an hour and a half is where I'm getting more of a mattified look, where it kind of disappears like it did on my eyelid. It's not quite as like luminous and glowy looking anymore, but yet I'm left with a matte kind of highlight where you can still see that I have some product right there and I have some product right here, but it's not as glowy as, say, my nose or my powder highlight on my cheeks. So I do think it's kind of unfortunate. It never feels like it sets, because then I'm afraid that I'm going to wipe away the product accidentally, and then at the same time I feel like they kind of disappear on the skin. Now, I did try both of these as an eyeshadow stick. Does not work. They do not show up on me whatsoever. I could not get them to work with any primer. The only one that showed up was Topaz. Unfortunately, it just creases and disappears within 10 minutes. So I don't think they perform well as eyeshadow sticks. I think everywhere else they kind of dry down to that mattified look where you can't really tell you have this beautiful shimmer stick on. It just kind of looks like something is there. So unfortunately, these are $28, and I don't think you get a lot of product. I mean, you can get a whole compact, even though this is not cheap whatsoever, a whole powder highlighter, which is much more intense, much easier to use, really long lasting power, and this is $38. However, you get 0.28 ounces, whereas these are $28 for 0.06 ounces, so a significant difference. I honestly don't think these perform as great as the powders. I know the whole point of these is that they're supposed to be just really easy to do target highlighting where maybe you can't get a brush in there, but I honestly think there's so many little tiny precision brushes out there. I've never had that as a problem for me, taking a little tiny brush. I'll show you one specifically. I like to use this Morphe E35. It's a very, very tiny little brush. Never had a problem taking a powder product and putting it where I need it, like say the corner of my eye, top of my Cupid's bow. So for me, I was getting it just because, okay, I like it. It's a roller ball type of thing, or a crayon. Really easy to place all around my face, but I'm honestly not that impressed with these products. I was super, super excited to get them because they look stunning. Like, this packaging is gorgeous. I love it. They're beautiful. They feel sturdy. They feel luxurious. They look luxurious. But I really don't think the quality is as amazing as, like, say, their poured cream highlighters or their regular powder highlighters. I think you're better off. You don't get a lot of product in here. They don't have a long staying power. Even the mattified look, I feel like after 2 to 4 hours, they've just completely disappeared on the skin. After about the 2-hour mark is where it stops being luminous and goes for that mattified look. And then after about 2 to 4 hours, it just kind of disappears. They just disappear on the skin a little bit, which is unfortunate. So these, to me, are kind of a leave it, honestly, which disappoints me because I love Becca. I really like the brand. I like Jaclyn Hill. I wanted to buy another product to support her, but these are, unfortunately, I think are all gonna go back. I'm tempted to maybe keep one because I really did like highlighting my nose with it, but it's still $28 for a small amount of product. And it's like, really? How much do I actually highlight my nose that it's worth it for a $28 product when I could be buying other products that I really, really, really love? So I think most of these are gonna go back for sure. Topaz, I'm still on the fence if I want to keep one Pearl or one Champagne Pop. Definitely not keeping more than one of these if I do keep it, but honestly, you guys, I would just leave these at the store. They're not that impressive. I love the face palette. The new compacts are coming out on the 14th on Sephora.com as well, and those I'm really excited about because I've tried, you know, their face palette. I love it. I've tried all their other blushes and the highlighters, and I love it. So I think that's going to be worth the money. I think these, unfortunately, are just not really worth the money, especially for $28. For them not having a strong staying power and for some of them not showing up that well, I really think these are a leave it at the store. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the new Becca and one of the Jaclyn Hill Shimmering Skin Perfector Slim Lights, and I hope you found it helpful. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about these, and if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're still interested in getting these products, they do release at Sephora.com online on July 14th, and then later in July they will be in stores as well. So I will leave all the information down below and just a little summary about these products as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!